inspired by one of my fellow sisters of mankind and fractal aspects of source. Jess, you know who you are. I'm just going to roll with it. Just roll with it, baby. Steve Winwood. So here I am in my jammies. My place is a complete mess. In another timeline when I was about 27 and thought that I was, I don't know what. Oh! I lifted a sandstone block that was a part of the landscaping. I was going to put it in a wheelbarrow. I used to lift, train, bodybuilding. So I was strong. I did something to one of the lower vertebrae in my back. And on occasion, especially when I lapse in doing my yoga stretches, that can slip out. So I've been tending to that for the last 3 days. And this is the second part to a message that I had started to record the other day. And I had to cut it off unexpectedly because when someone pulls into the drive, potato butt back here goes ballistic. Most of the time, not always. He's very sensitive. He was abused. I think I mentioned this before, that he's a rescue. Anyhow, so in that video that I started, I was explaining how I find myself saying, okay, I have to get this done. I've got to do this. And this whole channel, this whole me being the I that I am here, sharing with you, is not something I have to do. In fact, as I explained in that video, anything that we start saying, I have to do, we have then given over control to something or someone outside of us. I choose to do this because it's what I really love. When I share my messages, they come from time where I'm in connection with Source, the master artist, God, love. And it is just so blissful. And I have so much gratitude. Everything I do when I share has a purpose to awaken you that is also for you. You are your authority. You are a fractal aspect of Source, as we all are. And taking over authority of I is going to shift the reality of duality into that fifth dimensional, because there's a difference between density and dimension. It's going to shift that for us to where we're living what is the golden age. We're living the way that Yeshua taught. That hence Christ consciousness returns. Yay! Aren't you up for that? I am so up for that. And the trick is we have to see it now in order for it to be here. It's already here. We're just turning the pages, so to speak, to get to that chapter. It's already there. The chapter's there. It's a few pages, right? Okay. That's what I wanted to say. So let me begin with the message. Live what it is you wish by being who you are, not doing what you need to do or have to get done or have to do. Not that you don't do what it is you need to do. All titles indicate the doing. Mother, husband, doctor, therapist, construction worker, attorney, waitress, restaurateur, coach. Titles, any titles. Defendant, plaintiff, taxpayer. It's a title. Yeah. So forth and so on. None of those define you unless you give permission that they do. Who you see, perception, yourself as, matters. It has the power to limit you, your life, what you create. If you're creating from a limited place, how's that going to work bringing heaven to earth? Peace, joy, fulfillment, contentment, right? None of those define you unless you give permission that they do. Who you see, perception, yourself as, matters. It has the power to limit you. Who you are is not that. That limited, narrowed definition. But that's what we've been doing. Doing. Defining ourselves through our needs, right? I need to be loved. So I need to do this to get it. I need to have not merely a house, but all the things to put in it. And such that this gives the appearance that I blank. Fill in the blank with how you would describe it for yourself. All the things to put in it. I need to have not merely a house, but all the things to put in it. And such that this gives the appearance that I am smart, am important, am accomplished, worthy, likable, powerful, blank. Fill in the blank with how you would describe it for yourself, right? Because that's going to be different for someone else. This is how we define and limit ourselves. I did a video earlier that spoke about how did we get to where we accepted diminishment. This is how we define and limit ourselves, and that's diminishment. There's no peace out there where there isn't peace in here, within. You've taken the opportunity to experience the beauty of life on this planet. And we know this because you're here. and we're looking at all of this through a distorted lens, distorted perception, we've got to first recognize that this is what we're doing. This is what is actually occurring. We did a previous video. You made it real. Who made it real? You made it real. We made it real. And you see this with new eyes, a new perception, what you could refer to as awareness. This, that the definitions and with them their limits imposed by very narrowed reality, you dissolve your own chains. So as you see this with new eyes, a new perception, the way you perceive things and look at things, awareness with awareness, that the definitions and with them their limits imposed have done so and created a very narrowed reality. When you do that, you dissolve the chains. And I love to quote the Eagles song. So oftentimes it happens. We live our lives in chains, and we never even know. We have the keys. They're not in the governments. They're not in that voice that tells you, that's playing that recording from when you were a child and you had to obey, right? Because if you didn't, you were going to get your beat, or some kind of consequence that we certainly didn't want. You know, just as humans, we avoid displeasure or pain. We avoid pain and seek pleasure. You dissolve the chains. You don't need to break them. There's nothing to break. You just dissolve them. It's not a confrontational thing unless you make it that way. You don't need to change the external, the matter, the physical matter. You merely can dissolve the perceptions, the narrowed perceptions that create the binding, the restriction, the limitations. So I speak on these things because this is what is channeled to me. And I've studied this for decades now, in this lifetime. I understand that in past lifetimes, I really had this down. But I teach it because, well, you don't need to seek freedom or become free. We don't need that. You are free. We already are. It's about dissolving the chains to create what we already are instead of out of the limitations. So we understand this, and that's what we're shifting to. You are created whole. There's nothing to fix, nothing to change. It's letting go of the illusion. And I'm in this with you. If I was totally down with this and had it stellar, it wouldn't be on this earth plane. You know, it was part of the agreement to incarnate that veil. And then we all get kind of trapped in that illusion until we can lift that veil and come into awareness. So I'm with that. That's a moment-to-moment thing. Enlightenment, if you will, whatever you want to call it, being aware, fully conscious, is something that you choose in the now moment, because that's the only time that there is. You don't get it and then you've got it. In this physical reality, that's not the way it works. You see your needs as not being met or needing to get them met from out there. This is what we do. You are created whole. You are complete. Nothing missing. Not less than to need to go get more. There is no less than to seek more. In the seeking more, you affirm there is not enough. That's why I wasn't doing it else, because it's so hard to sit. You live a not enough reality, consequentially. Cause and effect. You are so loved and loved. Thank you. Go in peace. And that's the end of the channeled message. Now, you may have noticed I interject my personality from this incarnation into my messages when I give them here and record them. And that's the thing. With the exception of ascended masters having come and lived out as an example the way back to alignment and lifting the veil from forgetting. When it's a channeled message, it's going to come through the filters of that channeler. So I think that's one of my hesitations is I'm so conscientious about the purity that that's my big message. It's on you. We're responsible for the I. So this perception, this shift in perception that is taking place for us as a collective, I'm here to facilitate that. Let's leave it at that. Okay. Now, I love the language of symbols and pictures and what do they call the hieroglyphics? Right. So there's a fear of divination. Well, a lot of knowledge was kept hidden because, when you're dealing with egos that take responsibility for what they do and bring into this world, that knowledge had to be kept hidden. So I pulled some cards, and this is the way that Spirit can communicate with me. That's why I enjoy it so much. And I wanted to read those. This is the Beyond Lemuria guidebook. And if this is where we part, because this is, there's superstitions and myths that you have around this, it's all good. No shade. Wish you well, go in peace. All right. Page 109. Reclaim your energy. And the divination message to this divinatory meaning, divine, connecting with the divine, divination, that's what it is. Some people aren't prepared to grasp or handle that you are of God, right? It has been for thousands of years held over mankind that he is separate from God and lowly to God. And if you really read what's written and read in the Bible, and that was what was most interesting to me, then you can see there's a absolute conflict there. It's love. It's not control. There's no diminishment. Reclaim your energy. This card encourages you to be aware of where your energy is going. If you are not at your optimal energy level, it invites you to consider the core of why this may be. You have the power to own your energy and choose where you direct it. Look at situations that trigger drama and anxiety to reduce energy loss. How about scrolling through YouTube? I'm famous for doing that. Mac, honey. Sweetheart. Chonk. Chunko chonk. Yay! What are you doing, honey? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. My little buddy. That's all the drama I need right there. I'm good. Look at situations that trigger drama and anxiety to reduce energy loss. Detach from environments or people that are not healthy for you. That's what I'm in right in the last vestiges of currently as we record this. And we'll get into more of that. We'll leave it at that. But overcoming the energy or moving beyond the energy of those not willing or able to take responsibility for what they bring into this world, their energy. Detach from environments or people that are not healthy for you. It is up to you to make the shift. Victim mentality is no help. So realize you have the power to transform your life and choose healing and self-empowerment. Right on. It's time to kickstart the upward spiral to abundant energy and soul presence. So this was entirely supportive of the messages that I channel and everything that this channel stands for. And that's the card. Oh, isn't it beautiful? I love the message. All right, the next one is page 115, and it is Shine Your Light. Shine your ever living light on me. Some old time 70s song that's playing in my head. I had these marked before, but then things got changed around. Shine your light. Shine your light. Shine your light. Shine your ever living light on me. All right, the divinatory meaning here. Because you are of the divine. That shakes you up and rattles you up. I'm really sorry about that. You got to be living in a lot of suffering and pain to be so disconnected that makes you fearful. And my heart goes out to you. I mean that sincerely. Where can you shine your light? When you have a purpose, you will also have limitless, right? The opposite of limited. You will also have limitless energy and know, here's the one I love, joy. I got the joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I got the joy. Oh, the back. Okay, I do. I love it. That's why after decades, I absolutely refuse to engage with those who cannot take responsibility for themselves and put the rest of us, including themselves, in suffering. There's no joy there. Where can you grow enthusiasm in your life? Consider how you can be more aligned with your passions so you can harness your light. It may be time to return to something you enjoyed but stopped doing for no good reason. You are a sovereign being. Regain compassionate empowerment and remember what lights up your world. I'm going to leave it at that. There was another card, but I can't find it. Things are in such disarray. It's all good, baby. Thanks so much. Leave a like, share, do share, comment, whatever floats your boat. It's all good. Go in peace. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.